I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. Psalms 3 verse 5. In this verse, David reflects on the peace and security he experiences, even in the midst of his distress, through God's sustaining power. It is a profound statement of trust in God's provision, both physically and spiritually. Despite the threats surrounding him, David is able to sleep peacefully because he knows that God is watching over him. I laid me down and slept. David speaks of the act of going to sleep, an intimate and vulnerable moment where one surrenders control. The imagery of laying down to rest in the midst of trouble reveals a deep trust in God's protection. Sleep, often associated with vulnerability, becomes an act of faith when David knows that his safety is in God's hands. Even when circumstances seem threatening, David finds rest in the Lord's presence. I awaked. The act of waking up signifies not only the continuation of life, but also the faithfulness of God. David acknowledges that it is God who has sustained him through the night. Sleep is not simply a natural occurrence for David, but a gift from God, a time in which God's protection remained constant. The awaking is a reminder of God's ongoing care and provision, and it highlights the divine nature of his rest. It was God who kept him safe and allowed him to wake with life and strength. For the Lord sustained me. This is the central declaration of the verse, the Lord's sustaining power. It is a reminder that life itself, and the ability to rest, is not guaranteed by human strength or effort, but by God's grace. David recognizes that it is God who sustains him through the dangers and trials of life. This verse emphasizes that God is the source of David's peace, security, and strength. The Lord's sustaining presence is what gives him rest, both physically and spiritually. This verse is an invitation to trust God's care and protection. In times of trouble, we may face fear, but David's words remind us that God provides rest and sustenance. Even when we are most vulnerable, God is faithful to watch over us. It encourages us to rest in God's presence, knowing that He will sustain us through the night and into the day ahead.